Anna stood by her window. Rain fell outside. Her wedding dress hung nearby. Tomorrow, her life would change forever. She touched the fabric. It felt cold, like her mother's heart, like her future. But this story begins with shame. Anna was born different. Her left leg was weak. She walked with a limp. In her rich home, this made her a target. Every morning, the same pain. Her mother's voice cut deep. "Walk straight, Anna. You look weak. You shame our name." Her father barely looked at her. When he did, his eyes showed disgust. What use is a broken daughter? Who will want damaged goods? Her sisters laughed behind fans. They called her the cripple when mother wasn't listening. Her brothers turned away when she entered rooms. Anna learned to hide. She stayed in corners. She spoke softly. She tried to make herself small, but small was never small enough. One morning, everything changed. Her father called her to his study. His face was stone. His words were sharp. "You will marry, Anna. You have no choice in this matter." Anna's heart stopped. Marriage? But who would want her? Then came the punishment disguised as arrangement. Lord James needs a wife. He is rich, yes, but he lives far from here, far from civilized society. Her mother smiled coldly. "People call him strange. Anna, some say he's cursed. But beggars cannot choose, can they?" Anna felt the room spin. They weren't giving her a husband. They were throwing her away. "Send her off," her father said. "End our shame. Let her be his burden now." That night, Anna cried until no tears came. Then, something hardened inside her. Her eyes went dry. Her jaw set firm. She had no choice. She would obey, but she would not break. Tomorrow, her real life would begin. James stood on his castle wall. The wind was cold. His heart was colder. The town below whispered about him. Always whispers, always fear. Lord James lost his family young. They said, war took everything from him. Now he guards his land like a wolf guards its den. Some called him a beast. Others called him cursed. Children ran when they saw his tall, dark figure. But the truth was different. James remembered being 8 years old. He remembered the screams, the fire, the blood on his father's hands before enemies cut him down. He built walls after that, stone walls around his castle, stronger walls around his heart. Love meant loss, trust meant pain. So he chose neither. When Anna's father offered marriage, James agreed. Not for love, never for love. For peace between their houses, for duty, for the end of old wars. But deep inside, something stirred. Hope, maybe. Curiosity. He had heard she was flawed, broken. They said, cast aside by her own blood. Perhaps a broken girl might understand a broken man. Perhaps two damaged souls could find something real together. He didn't dare say this out loud. He barely let himself think it. But when he signed the marriage papers, his hand didn't shake. For the first time in years, Lord James smiled. The coach wheels crunched on gravel. Anna's heart hammered against her ribs. Through the small window, she saw grey stone towers. Cold, imposing, like a prison. The coach stopped. The door opened. This was it. Anna stepped out slowly. Her weak leg made her careful, made her graceful in a strange way. But she expected laughter. She expected disgust. Instead, silence. A tall man walked toward her. His hair was dark. His shoulders were broad. His face was serious, but not cruel. Anna braced herself. Here comes the rejection, she thought. Here comes the regret. But James stopped 3 feet away. He bowed. Actually bowed. His voice was deep, but gentle. "Welcome, Anna. I am James, your husband." Anna stared. Where was the anger? Where was the disappointment when he saw her limp? She started, then stopped. Words felt dangerous. "You must be tired," James said. "The journey was long. Come, let me show you inside." He walked slowly. Slower than a lord needed to walk. Anna realized he was matching her pace. He was waiting for her. The great hall was vast. Tapestries covered stone walls. A fire crackled in a huge fireplace. It should have been warm, but Anna felt cold inside. "This is your home now," James said. He didn't say our home, he said your home, like he was giving it to her. I looked around. No sneering faces, no whispered jokes, just quiet. "I won't hurt you," James said suddenly. His voice was soft. "I want you to know that. I won't force anything. You're safe here." Anna's eyes widened. Safe? When had she ever been safe? "Thank you," she whispered. It was all she could manage. James nodded. "Mrs. Helen will show you to your room. Rest. We can talk tomorrow." As Anna followed the kind housekeeper up stone stairs, she looked back once. James stood by the fire watching her go. His face was sad, lonely. For the first time, Anna wondered what had hurt him so deeply. The first week was quiet, too quiet. Anna woke each morning in a huge bed. Sunlight streamed through tall windows. No one shouted at her. No one mocked her walk. No one called her useless. It felt wrong, like waiting for thunder after lightning. But James kept his word. He was gentle, patient. When they ate together, he asked simple questions. "Did you sleep well? Is your room warm enough? What would you like to do today?" Anna answered carefully. She watched for traps in his words, but there were none. After breakfast, James worked with his steward. Anna explored the castle. Slowly, carefully. Her leg made stairs hard, but no one rushed her. In the kitchen, she found something wonderful. Herbs, spices, fresh bread baking. Can I help?" she asked Mrs. Helen. The housekeeper smiled. "Of course, my lady. Do you like to cook?" Anna nodded. At home, cooking was servant work. But here it felt like freedom. Her hands moved with skill. She made soup that tasted like sunshine, bread that smelled like heaven. Simple meals, but made with care, James noticed. At dinner, he ate slowly. He closed his eyes when he tasted her cooking. "This is wonderful," he said. "You have a gift, Anna. A gift." Anna felt warmth spread through her chest. When had anyone called anything about her a gift? Days became routine. Anna cooked. She mended clothes with neat, small stitches. She walked in the garden, tending herbs that grew wild. The servants began to smile when they saw her. They asked for her help with small things. They called her "my lady" with real respect. James watched it all. He said little, but his eyes were kind. When Anna limped through the halls, he never stared, never pitied. He just accepted. For the first time in her life, Anna felt useful, valued, maybe even wanted. It was a dangerous feeling, but it was growing stronger every day. 3 weeks into her new life, Anna made a discovery. She was walking in the herb garden when she heard crying. A kitchen maid sat on a stone bench, holding her hand. Blood seeped between her fingers. "What happened?" Anna asked. Cut myself on a knife, my lady. It won't stop bleeding. Anna looked at the girl's hand, then at the herbs around her. She remembered things. Old knowledge her grandmother had whispered. Wait here, Anna said. She picked certain leaves, crushed them between stones, made a paste that smelled clean and sharp. This might sting, she warned. Then pressed the mixture to the cut. The bleeding stopped. The girl's eyes went wide. How did you... That's magic, my lady. Not magic, just plants that help. Word spread fast in the castle. The cook had a burn. Anna made cooling cream. A stable boy twisted his ankle. Anna brewed tea that eased the pain. Soon people from the village came. They knocked on the kitchen door. They asked quietly for the lady who could heal. Anna's hands worked with growing confidence. She learned by trying. She made mistakes. Yes, but she also made miracles. Old Sarah, who couldn't walk without pain. Anna's tea helped her stand straight. Young Tom, whose fever wouldn't break. Anna's cooling cloth brought him back from the edge. They brought gifts, eggs, fresh milk, flowers from their gardens. But more than gifts, they brought respect. Thank you, Lady Anna, they said. And they meant it. James watched from his study window. He saw the line of people who came for help. He saw Anna's face when she healed someone. How it glowed, how it came alive. One evening, he found her in the garden. She was picking herbs by moonlight. You're good at this, he said simply. Anna looked up. Her hands were dirty. Her dress was stained. But she felt proud. I like helping, she said. I like being useful. You are useful, James said. His voice was firm. You're more than useful. You're necessary. Necessary. Anna had never been necessary before. As she walked back to the castle, her limp seemed less heavy. Her shoulders seemed straighter. She was becoming someone new, someone strong. The evening that changed everything started with rain. Anna sat by the great fireplace, mending a torn shirt. James worked at his desk, reading papers by candlelight. Thunder rolled outside. Does the storm bother you? James asked suddenly. Anna looked up. No, I like the sound. It's honest. James set down his papers. Honest? Rain doesn't pretend to be something else. It just is what it is. Something in her voice made James study her face. You sound like you know about pretending. Anna's hands stopped moving. Should she tell him, risk showing weakness? But his eyes were kind, patient, waiting. My family, she began, then stopped. Started again. They wanted me to pretend I wasn't broken, to hide my limp, to act normal. But I could never be what they wanted. James was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood, walked to the window, looked out at the storm. My father wasn't the monster people think, he said softly. He was gentle, kind. He taught me to read, to ride, to be fair to our people. Anna set down her mending. This felt important. What happened to him? She asked. James's shoulders tensed. War came to our lands. Your family's soldiers came with it. They said my father was a traitor. They said he stole their gold. Anna's heart stopped. My family? It was lies, James continued. All lies. But lies with swords behind them are stronger than truth. They killed him in front of me. I was 12. The room went silent, except for rain and crackling fire. I'm sorry, Anna whispered. I'm so sorry. James turned around. His face was sad, but not angry. It wasn't you, Anna. You were probably sewing in your nursery while I watched my world burn. But still, my name. Your name is just letters, James said firmly. You are not your family, any more than I am the monster they call me. They looked at each other across the firelight. Two broken people, two survivors. Tell me about before, James said gently. Tell me about the real Anna. So she did. She told him about hiding in corners, about cruel words and cold looks, about feeling small and wrong and worthless. James listened without judging, without trying to fix, just listen. When she finished, he nodded slowly. They were fools, he said. Blind, cruel fools. How can you say that? Look at me. Beautiful, James interrupted. You're beautiful, Anna. Not despite your differences. Because of them. Because they made you kind. Made you real. Anna felt tears coming, but not sad tears. Something else. Something warm and bright and scary. I used to hate storms, James said quietly. They reminded me of that night, but tonight, with you here, they just sound like rain again. They sat in comfortable silence as the storm raged outside. But inside, by the fire, two hearts began to heal. The letter came on a Tuesday morning. Anna was in the kitchen, making herb bread, when James burst through the door. His face was white. His hands shook. What is it? Anna asked, fear creeping up her spine. James held up a piece of paper. Your brother. He's coming here. Tomorrow. Anna felt the world tilt. Michael, why? He says he needs to check on your welfare, to make sure you're being treated properly. Anna almost laughed. Michael caring about her welfare? Michael who used to trip her in hallways just to watch her fall. There's more, James said grimly. He's bringing friends, other lords. They want to evaluate our marriage. The bread dough slipped from Anna's hands, spluttered on the floor. They want to what? Anna, James took her flour-covered hands in his. There are rumors. Your family is spreading stories. They say I'm keeping you prisoner. They say I'm hurting you. That's not true. Anna's voice was fierce. You would never. I know. But they don't care about truth. They care about politics, about making me look bad. Anna sank onto a wooden stool. Her old life was reaching for her, trying to drag her back into shame and smallness. What do they really want? She whispered. James was quiet for too long. Then, they want to annul our marriage, to take you back, to marry you to someone else. Who? Lord Robert. He's old, rich, cruel, but he'll pay your father well for a young wife. Anna felt sick. Lord Robert. She remembered him from court gatherings, the way he looked at young girls, the way servants flinched when he passed. I won't go, she said suddenly. I won't leave here. James's eyes flashed with something fierce. You won't have to. This is your home now. I'll protect you. But Anna saw doubt in his face. Worry. What if her family had legal power? What if they could force her back? That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She paced her room, thinking, planning, fear and anger battled in her chest. By morning, she had decided. She would not hide. She would not cower. When her brother came, she would face him. But first, she needed to know everything. James, she said over breakfast, tell me the whole truth about my family, about the war, about why you really agreed to marry me. James set down his cup, looked her in the eyes. Are you sure you want to know? Anna lifted her chin. I'm sure. So he told her everything. How her father had stolen lands that belonged to James's family. How they had killed innocents and called it justice. How this marriage was meant to be James's revenge, but became something else entirely. When he finished, Anna was quiet for a long time. So I was supposed to be your prisoner, she said finally. Yes, but instead, you became mine. James looked confused. What do you mean? Anna smiled, a real smile. Strong and sure. You fell in love with your captive, Lord James. That makes you the one who's truly trapped. For the first time in days, James smiled back. Then I choose my prison gladly, Lady Anna. Outside, horses approached. Anna's old life was coming, but she was not the same girl who had left in tears. She was someone new, someone strong, someone worth fighting for. Michael arrived like a storm cloud, dark and threatening and full of noise. Anna watched from her window as his party rode into the courtyard. 5 men, all armed, all wearing her family's colors. Her brother looked the same, tall, handsome, cold eyes that saw people as things to be used. Remember, James said behind her. You don't have to see them alone. I'll be with you. Anna shook her head. No, this is my fight. She walked down to the great hall, her back straight, her head high, her limp steady but sure. Michael was already seated at the head table, acting like he owned the place. When Anna entered, he looked her up and down, like she was livestock at market. Sister, he said. His voice was silk over steel. You look, well, different. Hello, Michael. Anna took her place across from him. What brings you so far from home? Michael's friends watched like hungry wolves. Anna felt their eyes judging her dress, her hair, her worth. We're concerned about you, Anna. Father received troubling reports. They say Lord James keeps you locked away, that you're not happy here. Anna almost laughed. Who told you that? Does it matter? We're here to help, to take you home if needed. This is my home. Michael's smile turned sharp. Come now, sister, let's be honest. What kind of home is this? You limp around like a servant. You smell like kitchen herbs. Is this the life of a proper lady? The old Anna would have shrunk, would have believed him, but the new Anna, she stood taller. You're right, she said. This isn't the life of a proper lady. It's the life of a useful woman, a woman who heals instead of hurts, who builds instead of destroys. Michael's face darkened. You forget yourself, Anna. You forget what you are. I know exactly what I am. Anna's voice rang clear. I am Lord James's wife. I am this land's healer. I am respected and valued and loved. Loved? Michael laughed. Look at you. Who could love a crippled? That's enough. James's voice cut through the hall like a sword. He stood in the doorway, tall, dark, dangerous. You will not speak to my wife that way. Michael rose slowly. Your wife? This broken thing? We're here to correct a mistake, Lord James, to offer you a better arrangement. There is no arrangement to be made, James said firmly. Anna stays here, by her choice, and mine. Michael's friends shifted in their seats. Hands moved toward sword hilts. Perhaps, Michael said softly, you need time to think, to consider what's best for everyone. I've considered, Anna said. She stood, walked around the table, stood beside James. I choose to stay. I choose him. I choose this life. Michael's face went red. You ungrateful little... Careful. James stepped forward. She is a lady, my lady. You will treat her with respect or leave my lands. The hall went silent. Tension crackled like lightning before thunder. Finally, Michael laughed. But it was an ugly sound. Very well, keep your broken bride, James. But remember, some things can't stay hidden forever. Some debts always come due. He gathered his men and left. But his words lingered like smoke. That night, Anna and James stood on the castle walls, watching the road disappear into darkness. What did he mean? Anna asked. About debts coming due? James was quiet for a long moment. I don't know, but whatever comes, we'll face it together. Anna took his hand. Together, she agreed. Below them, the village lights twinkled like fallen stars. Their people, their home, their life. Anna had faced her past and chosen her future, but she had a feeling this was just the beginning. 2 months after Michael's visit, everything changed. It started with a messenger, a young boy from the village running fast. His face was bright with excitement. My lady Anna, he called. Come quick to the village square. Anna and James exchanged looks. Good news or bad? With her family, it could be either. They rode down together, Anna on a gentle mare, James on his black stallion. As they got closer, Anna heard voices. Lots of voices. The village square was packed. Men, women, children, all holding flowers, all smiling. What's happening? Anna asked Mrs. Helen, who was grinning like a fool. They came, my lady, from the capital. Official men. They heard about you, about your healing. Anna felt confused. Heard what? Show her. Someone called. An old man stepped forward. He wore fine clothes, royal colors. He bowed deeply to Anna. Lady Anna, he said formally, I am Sir Thomas, representative of His Majesty the King. I bring royal recognition of your service to the people. Anna's mouth fell open. Royal recognition. Sir Thomas unrolled a scroll. His voice carried across the square. By order of His Majesty, Lady Anna of Westmore is hereby named Royal Healer of the Northern Lands. Her skills in medicine and her service to the people are recognized throughout the realm. The crowd erupted in cheers. Anna sat on her horse, stunned. There's more, Sir Thomas continued. Your work has caught the attention of the Royal College of Physicians. They request you train other healers to share your knowledge. James reached over and squeezed Anna's hand. His face glowed with pride. But the best part came next. Furthermore, Sir Thomas announced, the Crown wishes to set the record straight regarding certain rumors. Lady Anna's marriage to Lord James is recognized as legitimate and blessed. Any attempts to interfere with this union will be considered treason against the Crown. Anna felt tears streaming down her face. Not tears of sadness, tears of joy, of vindication, of triumph. The people cheered louder. Children threw flowers. Women wept with happiness. Speech! Speech! They called. Anna looked at James. He nodded encouragingly. She stood in her stirrups. Her voice carried clear and strong. Thank you. All of you. You gave me something I never had before. You gave me purpose. You gave me worth. You gave me a home. She paused, looked around at all the faces, rich and poor, young and old, all looking at her with love. I was once told I was broken, useless, a burden, but you taught me the truth. We are all broken in some way, but broken things can still be beautiful, still be useful, still be loved. The cheers were deafening. That evening, as celebrations continued in the village, Anna and James walked in their garden. The herbs she had planted were in full bloom. Are you happy? James asked softly. Anna considered. 6 months ago she was a rejected daughter, a throwaway bride, a broken girl with no future. Now she was a healer, a teacher, a wife, a woman respected and valued for who she truly was. More than happy, she said. I'm complete. James stopped walking, turned to face her. Anna, I need to tell you something. Her heart skipped. What? I love you, he said simply. Not because you're my wife, not because you heal people, but because you're you, because you're brave and kind and real, because you make me believe in good things again. Anna felt her world shift, settle into something perfect. I love you too, she whispered. You saved me, James. Not from my family, from myself. You showed me I was worth saving. They kissed under the starlight. Two broken souls, whole at last. In the distance, music drifted from the village. Their people were celebrating, their healer, their lady, their Anna. The girl who was once a burden had become a blessing. The prisoner had become free. The broken had become beautiful. 5 years later, Anna woke to sunlight and laughter. Through her window she saw children playing in the castle courtyard. Her children, James's children. Bright and healthy and free. Little Sarah had her father's dark hair and her mother's healing hands. At 3, she already knew which herbs helped tummy aches. Baby Thomas had James's serious eyes, but Anna's gentle smile. He was barely walking, but already trying to follow his sister everywhere. Good morning, my love. James's voice was warm honey. He sat on the bed's edge, already dressed for the day. Good morning, Anna stretched like a cat in sunshine. What's that sound? Your students are here, the new ones from the eastern villages. Anna smiled. The Royal Healing School had grown beyond her wildest dreams. Young men and women came from across the kingdom to learn her methods, to carry healing back to their own homes. And there's news, James continued. His eyes twinkled with mischief. Good news or interesting news? Both. Your brother Michael is getting married. Anna raised an eyebrow. Really? To whom? The daughter of his grain merchant. Apparently, she's practical, and her father controls the grain supply to their lands. Anna laughed. Michael, marrying for grain rights. How perfectly fitting. Are we invited? She asked, not really caring. We are, but I already sent our regrets. We're too busy that week. Busy with what? James grinned. The Harvest Festival. The new healing center dedication. And he paused dramatically. Dr. Margaret is coming from London. She wants to write a book about your work. Anna sat up straighter. Dr. Margaret was famous throughout Europe, a pioneer for women in medicine. She wants to write about me. She wants to write about the woman who proved that healing comes from the heart, not just the head. About the lady who showed that broken things can become beautiful. Anna felt that familiar warmth. The feeling of being valued, seen, loved. A knock at the door interrupted them. My lady? Mrs. Helen's voice. The students are ready for morning lessons. Coming, Anna called back. She dressed quickly in her simple blue gown, the one that was practical for herb work, comfortable for teaching, beautiful in its simplicity. As they walked to the teaching hall, Anna paused, looked around at her life. The castle walls were covered in climbing roses now. Her roses, gardens bloomed everywhere, healing gardens, teaching gardens, beauty for the sake of beauty garden. Students filled the courtyards, eager young faces ready to learn, ready to carry healing back to their homes. In the distance, the village bustled with life. Healthy children played. Mothers worked without pain. Fathers stood straight and strong. James took her hand. Any regrets, my lady? Anna thought of the scared girl who had arrived here 5 years ago, broken, ashamed, certain she was worthless. That girl was gone. In her place stood a woman, a healer, a teacher, a mother, a wife, someone who mattered. No regrets, Anna said firmly. Only gratitude. They walked into the teaching hall together. Anna's voice rang clear as she began the day's lessons, teaching others to heal, to help, to see the beauty in broken things. Outside, birds sang in the roses. Children laughed in the gardens. Life bloomed everywhere. Anna's hands had touched. She had been her father's disappointment, her family's shame, a prisoner in an arranged marriage. But prisoners sometimes become queens, and broken things, when mended with love, become stronger than they were before. Anna was living proof. Every day, in every life she touched, in every heart she healed, the broken girl had become a blessing. The prisoner had found perfect freedom. And love had conquered all.